Well, back to the top then for Sam Hockenall. Part of the 50-to-1 crew as well on that Cannondale. Only 9 of those bikes, or 7 actually of those frames made back in 2019 for Matt Simmons when Cannondale returned to World Cup racing. They've been resprayed. Josh Bryceland, Ratboy is on one as well.
All right. Okay, that's it. You're good.
So, on track then for Sam Hockenall. Come up through.
Seems to be that there's a few ruts now where the bog was.
Yes.
We can't quite see the ground in between all those rocky sections, but I imagine that's why some of them are getting quite unsettled.
Yeah, perhaps getting caught in those.
Yeah.
Popping out of there, carrying good speed though into this drop. That's a really awkward drop as well when you stood on the top of it.
Well, the drop is nicer than riding through, so I don't know why Bernard made me ride through it one year. When I see them all gap it, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know that was an option.
So, Sam, 6.5 back at split number 1. Off the big rock vert he comes. On the lily pad, on and off as well, so cleanly down there. It's a good run so far from Sam. Now comes this big drop. And the riders, and it's interesting, Tani, this year, the riders with a different approach to it seem almost to be, well, Bernard apparently is going to sprint at that drop and push down off it and squash it. But
of course he is.
Of course he is, but see the riders racing it this year as opposed to kind of pulling off it.
I mean,
it's open. That next left is proving to be really difficult.
I think before, when they used to come off that big Renegade jump, they could kind of settle into it. Oh, he's slipped a pedal there. He's had to pedal to get onto that lily pad.
It's going to be some hard pedals down here. He came up short on these yesterday. Finds himself 20 seconds back at split number 3. And he's over
nicely.
them.
Yeah.
I think he pulled a bit harder than yesterday. He was quite casual in his approach yesterday to those 2 90-footers.
Yeah, I'm glad to see him get over them nicely. Having a good time.
Enjoying himself. Sounds like he's not even out of puff yet.
Yeah, I think they kind of have to regroup a little bit before this techie section because it's very low speed.
Yeah. It must be hard to go, you know, from the 2 90-footers as fast as you can. Casual off there. Wow. But yeah, and then to ride, you know, super slow tech.
Well,
that's
then
right.
straight into the fast road gap again. There's just such a change of pace the entire way down.
Yeah, that's right. Yet more to deal with. Nicely off there though. Breaking off the top of there into that right hander. That's a key turn, that one. You carry that speed all the way along this camber. Can't get any pedals in here at all. Split 4, 20.1 back then. For Sam Hockenall. Dropping out now onto this last straight. A lot of riders not pedaling this year. Big pull over the last 75. Sam Hockenall goes into 3rd place. 2:53.3.
Very stylish off there. That's another, well, that's 23 seconds on Brayton.
Yeah, it's mad.
Yeah.
Brayton was on a mission. You know, when you talk about Adam Brayton though, he has literally been so close to winning this event in the past. He puts everything into it. I'm not surprised at all to see that time. I'm perhaps surprised how much quicker the track is running today from yesterday though. There's Sam Hockenall. Sends it. Look at the landing, huh? That bike was designed as a full 29-inch wheel bike. He actually ran a 27.5-inch rear wheel in it when he got here. He said, on this last straight, he tried to pedal and the cranks were hitting the ground. So he was like, I haven't been on a downhill bike much, I haven't been on this one much, and now I've got to put a 29-inch back wheel in it as well to make it even more alien. But
I think you've just got to do so many things to not feel like your entire bike and body is just about to snap on every landing.
Well, Matt Jones will make his way down. We go back now to turn our attention to Craig Evans, the 2017 Red Bull Hardline winner. Conditions that day, the absolute polar opposite of this. It was wet. And what a skilled rider. This part of the 50-to-1 crew. A former World Cup racer, Craig Evans. And he's been enjoying himself this week as well. No one else going for the launch down there like Adam Brayton did. Top to bottom.
No. A full gas to flat run.
Gas to flat, yeah, absolutely. Taking no chances. A few different lines there. Briefly now, this is actually last year's course. They briefly pop onto it and leave it there. And this is so tech into this wood and out of it as well. A few different lines through there.
I think, yeah, that's definitely the safer option to roll through that on the rider's left. I think we'll be seeing the faster guys, like we did with Adam, gapping down into the left-hander, which is a bit riskier, but definitely worth it on the clock.
Absolutely it is, yeah.
And it's all these little bits, I think, where we actually see time made up, where you forget that you can make time in those. Oh my God, look there, you can just see on that
bounce,
heavy landing.
Such a heavy landing into that left then, but Craig Evans looking good through the dirty ferns. I'd never seen the cliff on the back of that turn until that drone shot the other day.
When you mention it, I was slightly annoyed because I was like, oh my God, now I'm going to think, that's all I'm going to think of when I go up and ride that.
So Evans into the big step down before the big step up onto the on-off. Quite easy to over-jump that. You've got to get both wheels down quick on top, sprinting towards the first of the 290s. No problem there, lands deep off it. And the second as well. Cleanly over the both of those. And tempting, I feel, this next section to get off the gas, Tani, and to relax, to rest a little bit. But the riders that are going to want to win, they certainly won't be doing that.
No, I think there is quite a bit of time to be made up in those corners. Like I was saying, the easier parts, it's easy to lose time there when you're not attacking.
So turning right now, here we come.
That was super clean though, through there.
Everyone's seeming to struggle a lot less with that turn this year, probably because of the lack of moisture on it now. Oh, fast across there as well, another little lily pad on top of there, but Evans showing some of that World Cup skill here, carrying good pace on these technical bits. Off this heinous drop, that's an awkward drop, right?
Yeah, it's horrible. It's just, you can't get your wheel to like stay in the right direction when you're approaching it, so I think you've just got to accept that you're going to go off it in an awkward position. Just goes to show how good these riders are. They're ready to just get unbalanced whenever and still send.
Yeah, well, that's what you've got to be able to do. So Craig Evans, big whip over the 75-footer to finish. And no timing at the moment. We're just getting those stat corrected. We'll bring you that time as quickly as we can. But Craig Evans safely down.
Very short lily pad on that steep section. The camera doesn't show just how steep that section is. Luckily for the catch berms at the bottom, if not, they would not be able to stop.
So Adam Brayton leading actually with that 2:29.7. Craig Evans has been confirmed coming down in a 2:46, so 16.3 seconds behind. Brayton was on the move in that run, absolutely. Just 2 seconds outside Ronan Dunn's fastest qualifier. Next man to drop will be Dennis Luffman.
Okay.
20 to go here then at Red Bull Hardline. 10th anniversary here in Snowdonia National Park. I'm Rob Warner alongside Tani Seagrave. And Dennis Luffman now from Bristol in the UK making his bid at this year's race. And no one has jumped down that like Adam Brayton did. That was phenomenal to see that. Bit of a shock for the first rider, eh? It's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
A very strong start. So it's interesting. So Dennis was actually in Hardline Tasmania, got loaned. I think it might be this bike that he's on now.
Because the bike he turned up on was so old. Basically, someone said, you can't ride that, you're going to die. 4.3 back then. It was all over the place,
I think. But then he just got given this bike and just rode as if it was, he was so comfortable on it. It was so impressive.
And there he is now, on an Atherton bike. Produced about 20 minutes from here.
Oh, he's putting a few pedal strokes in there, hadn't seen that yet.
That's 6.4 then. Looking like he found a good sweet spot as well on that landing, but Definitely the riders carrying more speed off that drop than we've seen before.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why we saw Matt Jones's tyre blow off the rim.
Yeah.
Just going too fast into that left-hander.
Popped it. Dirty Ferns now then for Luffman. 9 seconds back, so he's not going to be challenging the time of Brayton. Cleanly on the on and off.
They're losing quite a bit of time in that short sector, actually. Whipping into the wind.
Yeah, going to see a lot of riders do that. John O'Jones said he whipped into the wind and it blew him completely the other way round by the time he landed.
Like an Oppo whip.
Yeah, yeah. You know, that big rock on the right, I think we're going to see that come into play a bit later on.
Dennis was saying he was a bit nervous actually before heading up for his run. He said he hasn't felt like that in a while because he used to race World Cups. He's actually on my team. And he says he's not sure he likes the feeling that much anymore. He's just not used to it.
He did get in the top 10 as a junior actually at World Cup races, so some good pace there.
It does make you wonder how, like, I don't know, the slope starters will feel up top. I know they're used to dropping into runs and free riders, but it's just not the same as races.
No, it's a different thing, I think.
It'll be an advantage definitely for the downhill racers, I reckon, out there.
Yeah, it's definitely more in their comfort zone. That left-hander looking like it's getting a little loose on the entrance to it as well. So a good run for Dennis Luffman then ticks off another Red Bull Hardline. Crosses the line in a second place, some 13 seconds into the red. We saw gaps like this yesterday actually in the early part of qualifying. Those time gaps will come down.
Yeah.
Massively as the afternoon goes on. Oh, landed about perfect there, didn't he?
It seems to be the sweet spot is obviously right at the beginning of that landing. So if you can push off that and, like you said, maybe racer it, like Bernard was saying, then you get the sweet spot. This bit's running so fast compared to the first day of practice that they had. It was just so sticky going into those 90s and everyone was cranking so hard.
Ground a lot harder now. The wind, thankfully, is the one good thing the wind done has dried the course out. That voice, that voice will tell you who this man is.
Let's go.
Josh Bryceland, Rat Boy, returning to Red Bull Hardline. He was here in 2018. That was the last time he went against the clock on one of those Cannondale downhill bikes. I said built in 2019, 6 or 7 of prototype frames. Matt Simmons was at the wheel of them then. They've been resprayed. And Rat, last time he was here actually on an enduro bike. Did you see him get on the grass there just sneakily? Just to take that sting out of that. He's so lazy, so stylish. You cannot tell how fast he's going. Lazy styled, by the way. And look at that, 0.7 off. He's not lazy, I meant his style.
We get it.
Just to clarify.
He put a really good rundown yesterday. And like you said, Rob, at the time, we shouldn't be surprised really because Josh has won World Cups, he's won an overall. He quit while he was ahead. Josh
Bryceland is, without a doubt, one of the most naturally talented people ever get on a mountain bike. 1.9 back at that second
100%.
split then. One fast down there into that left-hander.
Has taken quite a lot of riders under his wing.
Yes, that's right. The 50-to-1 crew, looming large. Silver medal, remember, at those World Championships in Hafjell in 2014 as well. Behind G. Atherton. When he crashed off that last bridge and shattered his foot. 3.3 now. That's saying the foot was hurting a little bit this week, a bit of an ache in it. No bother over them for him then. But 3 seconds is going to be a huge amount to make up for him. We knew Brayton was going to be in that hot seat a while this afternoon. I don't know if anyone's got any factor 50 for him, but he's been there a lot longer than we expected. And actually the sunshine pretty unexpected as well. Bryceland across the road gap, 23 metres.
He seems to be chilling a little bit now, but I don't know if it's like you said, that's his lazy style.
Yeah.
Oh, he's made a big mistake there, foot off.
15.
Not what you want going into this section.
No. That Straight on though.
Recovered well.
Yeah, 5.4 off now. Feeling it along here, no doubt. But nearly there for Rat Boy then. Great to see him back competing again. Taking Red Bull Hardline very much in his stride. Be a big roar for this man as he crosses the line, then Bryceland goes in at 4th place, 6.8 off. Always the crowd favourite, Josh Bryceland.
Made light work of these.
Didn't he? Look at the height on those 90 footers, huh? The BF Goodrich 90s always delivering the spectacle.
Yeah, good. A very good place to stand as a fan, I think.
Yeah, so fast as well, isn't it?
Yeah.